it just kills me that PJ Fleck is a better coach than Frost, and that stunt about recruiting Martinez openly at the end of the game was just clueless, presumptuous, yes, but more than likely.
I really don't, because I was traveling, I was back,
Yeah.
and I mean, I hate to admit it. I didn't even listen to Coach Frost's comments after the game, but I mean, PJ Fleck's got Scott Frost's number. I'll tell you that, and I think that has something to do with recruiting Adrian Martinez. He must have been trying to recruit Adrian at the same time. That's all I can kind of speculate.
Here we go, Greg. Listen to this.
I don't know.
Following the Nebraska-Minnesota game, PJ Fleck and Adrian Martinez shared an embrace on the field, a moment that went viral between the Gophers head coach and Huskers quarterback. Nobody knew what the conversation consisted of, but the two competitors received plenty of praise. Now, thanks to the Big Ten Network's crew, cameras, mics, we know what was said. Microphone was able to pick up Fleck's message to Martinez following.
Want some coming there next year, then.
He had nothing but positive things to say to the senior leader. Okay, I watch guys. I'm a fan of everybody. You know what I mean. I watch kids play well, Fleck said to Martinez. I'm really proud of how good you've gotten. That's what he said.
Trying to recruit him
That's what he said.
Come to Minnesota next year is what I'm reading from this. You know what? I don't. Why would Adrian Martinez go to Minnesota next year? That makes no sense to me at all. For such a mature young man and a guy that's he wears that N proudly on his shoulder, on his forehead, everywhere. That would be bizarre, and especially because of the heat that he's been able to handle. Week in and week out, no matter if they win or they lose. I mean, this guy is there at the forefront and answering questions. I mean, like he's been doing this for 30 years, for goodness sake. And I mean, that's just PJ Fleck doing his thing. In my mind, is like, hey, Tanner Morgan's gone, and I don't really have a viable backup, and right now things are not looking good at Nebraska, and I'm giving you an opportunity to come to Minnesota and increase your draft stock. If you're not thinking that you want to go into the NFL draft this year or not. That's PJ Fleck being his used car salesman spiel that he does, and he's very good at. That's my read on this whole situation.
Yeah, I don't know what to read into that myself. I tend to think I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt unless I know. Matthew Braz says, I think Fleck was just being nice, no drama needed.
And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. If other people are trying to make something out of it or not, that was my read that I just gave you. But that would be my first and foremost thought, is that PJ Fleck has played against Adrian Martinez, 4 years now? And, Adrian Martinez is a pretty impressive guy. And a lot of, excuse me, a burp there. But a lot of head coaches will tell Adrian that, because a lot of head coaches that they know that their team hasn't played against a quarterback like him, and he's actually a pretty special guy. When he's got it going, he's got it going.
Well, that's what Star Trek Elysium's telling us, that Pat Fitzgerald was picked up saying the same thing after the game.
Absolutely. Pat Fitzgerald can't wait for Adrian Martinez to get the hell out of Nebraska.
All right, folks. Of course, most of what's been talked about is concerning Scott Frost. So you're pretty much on record, Greg, as saying Scott Frost is going to survive the season. He's going to be the coach in 2022, but there are going to be other coaching staff changes for sure.
Has to be right now, because that's the way things work in this business. You got a head coach on a contract that has an enormous buyout, and the assistant coaches are the guys on the chopping block when things aren't going well, until things are completely exhausted. And you know what? We've seen this now here consistently at Nebraska. Starting with Frank Solich, going to Bo Pelini. Uh, I always forget Bill Callahan. Sorry, going from Frank Solich to Bill Callahan to Bo Pelini, and then to Mike Riley, and then to Scott Frost, and you think you got your guy. So obviously, the rope's going to be a little bit longer for that guy that is supposed to be your savior and fix things after 4 head coaching changes. So yeah, the pressure. I mean, Trev Alberts is not messing around. I think it's pretty clear right now that things need to change, and we're gonna do it with your staff, and you get another year, and then we're gonna start talking about things when contract time is up.
All right, folks. You heard it from Greg here in regards to Scott Frost and whether he's going to be around next season.
That's just a hard decision that's just a hard trigger to pull, with what you have in place and everything, and that blows up recruiting, like
Yeah.
some of the people have said. You know what? Maybe this would be the year to do it when it is a very low recruiting class, but then it still hurts you in the long run with what you're trying to add from the transfer portal and all that. But I think you have too many things in place right now to make that kind of a move, especially with the new facilities being built. I mean, people watch our stinking press conference videos during the week, during Tuesdays and Thursdays that are there inside Memorial Stadium, and you got the whole construction noise going on right behind you with the beep 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 and all the jackhammers and everything. And so there's a lot going on in Nebraska, but you just need to translate it onto the field. And boy, they just took a big step back last week, and that's kind of the hardest pill to swallow about this whole thing right now.
Yeah, so this is what's difficult for me to decide if I was in Trev Alberts' shoes, is that 4 consecutive losing seasons is not acceptable, and the record's not getting better, and it's been stated many times. What is a coach? He's whatever his record says, but that's not the full story. That's obviously those are the results on the scoreboard. By the measurement of the weight and conditioning, how much better condition the team is, and what Scott Frost had to take over when it comes to that part of it in particular, and then just rooting out the guys that were not a good fit for the program and not contributing and not buying in and trying to change all that. And again, I don't think anyone that really knows football and knows this program and can see the athletes on the field would make a comparison between what they're seeing today versus what they saw 4 years ago in regards to the athletes on the field and how good they are. And then if you take that and you take the performance on the field, shoot, the results have been losses, but the results have been close losses.
One score games
for really good teams.
Yeah.
So,
well, the biggest thing is that people need to realize that this is still a super, super young team. They're trying to learn how to win. All the old guys on this team are all super seniors. Okay, these are all guys that chose to come back for an extra year because they got granted an extra year because of COVID-19. So you're dealing with a very, very young roster right now that is not getting blown out of games, not getting embarrassed, and are right there, right to the end of all of these games. So yeah, patience is one of those things that fans don't like to hear that. Nobody likes to hear that, but yeah, be patient because things do look better. One game here last week, you take a step backwards. Now it's time to take 2 steps forward after this. Learn from that and get pissed off and go, knock Purdue out of the country in 2 weeks.